Let's hit upon the Dylan movie just because I'm sure that's like occupying 80% of your brain even now. It's got all my favorite people, man. I know this one's been brewing for a while. Timmy Chalamet, I caught up with Elle Fanning recently. She was very excited. You guys almost worked together on the Patty Hearst
Yes.
movie. I know. Benedict is going to be
Yeah.
your Pete Seeger.
Yeah.
Inspired casting. Congratulations on that. Um, I guess my first question is Dylan involved? Like, do you want his participation? Have you talked to Dylan? Has Timmy interacted with Dylan
I've
or what?
spent several wonderfully charming days in his company, just one on one, talking to him. Yes, and
Wow.
I have a script that's personally annotated by him and treasured by me, and and he's a wonder. He loves movies. And so
Sure.
the first time I sat down with Bob, one of the first things he said to me was, "I love Copland, man."
A
And
man after my own
like, oh
heart. You
my
know how much I love
God,
that one.
oh my God,
Good
the
taste.
but uh, no, this is, and by the way, it's not really a Bob Dylan biopic. What's interesting and always was interesting about it to me, and I think interesting, the reason Bob's been so supportive of us making it is it's about, I, as in all cases, I think the best true life movies are never a cradle to grave,
They're
but they're
tough.
about a very specific moment
Yep.
in someone's life. And in this case, it's kind of, I don't know that it might be presumptuous to call it Altman-esque, but it's a kind of ensemble piece about this moment in time in the early 60s in New York, and this 17-year-old kid with $16 in his pocket who hitchhikes his way to New York to meet Woody Guthrie, who is being kept in a hospital and is dying of a nerve disease, and sings Woody a song that he wrote for him, and befriends Pete Seeger, who's like a son to Woody. And Pete sets him up with gigs in local clubs. And there you meet Joan Baez and all these other people who are part of this world. And this wanderer who comes in from Minnesota with a fresh name and a fresh outlook on life becomes a star assigned to the biggest record company in the world in a year, and 3 years later has record sales rivaling the Beatles. And the upheaval in what was the folk community and what they felt was proper folk and illicit folk, or all has tremendous relevance even now,
Yeah.
because of the way we're all so tribalized and we make rules about what our music should be, or what the rules are of how we speak or how we express ourselves. And Bob, from the beginning, has been someone who is always pressing against those boundaries, and or not even recognizing them. I think that's one of the most beautiful things I saw and felt upon meeting him, is he's still puzzled why they were so angry after Newport in 1965.
Yeah.
Because, for him, I think it's really clear that you know he loved Buddy Holly, he loved Little Richard, he listened to rock and roll. He didn't come to New York to become a folk sensation. He just wanted to make music,
Yeah.
and folk is what happened and what was happening at that moment. But his dream of playing in a band, he saw Buddy Holly and the Crickets, a couple months before they died, and his dream of being in a band, in a rock band, was the primal dream of his life. And so it wasn't like he was rejecting anything as much as just trying to evolve. And it's such an interesting explosion of drama in this community in that moment in 1965 when he went electric, and the way he was viewed as a kind of Judas or a betraying angel to the movement that he had uh, lifted into stardom. It's
We
really
know Tim.
interesting world, and Timmy is working his ass off right as we speak. And
So we know he's got the acting chops. How's the singing? Is he pre-recorded the songs or is he singing
we've
live or
been we've been in rehearsals, musical rehearsals, and we lay things down just to learn from them. But the music is incredible, and he's incredible. I couldn't have more confidence in him and in all the others joining in. And I think, not unlike making an Indiana Jones movie, the expectations are high. But so is the camaraderie and the love among us. We've all been essentially working on this movie for the last 3 years. There's been a lot of preparation. You know, when COVID took us offline, no one stopped
Right.
writing, rehearsing, Timmy playing guitar, and working all the, probably took it with him through every dune, and probably was playing guitar as he was riding a
What's
worm.
that music in the Dune trailer? Oh,
Yeah.
Dylan. Yeah.